Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Growth. We are still talking about the tech transition. So, would you actually say it's a good time to transition to tech, considering the fact that some companies are actually laying people off?
Okay, I see. So, the thing is, there are many factors that are causing these layoffs, and the nature of those factors is what we make one to answer this question of yours. Like, are these factors temporary? Are they here to stay? Do you understand? So,
Mm-hmm.
if you look at it in that light, you see that presently there are some sort of global recession that are somehow happening, right? And
Yeah.
this it's being felt in tech, especially because there are some, let me say, there are some issues that some tech companies have had. So I will say both natural issues and both kind of from being disciplined. So when I say the natural issues, just before this global recession is coming, right, there was a
Yeah.
boom. There was a boom in almost all tech-related companies due to the fact that COVID-19 accelerated the digital world. It accelerated the transition to the digital world because everybody is forced to do more things digitally, right? And this made
Yes.
many companies to also grow their employee base in order to cope with that increased demand. So, going back into something like a recession after that will definitely make some of them be like, so we have to shed weight now that the demand has also fallen down. You understand? So there is that part, which if you look at it, if you ask me, that's a transient factor. It's not a factor that's here to stay, right? Because the world is not yet fully digitally automated at all. It's still far from it actually. So after this recession, there is still going to be an onward movement of the world towards the digital state of things. And secondly, there have been some very bad economics that some tech companies have done. So which are like economics around not caring enough about how profitable are you in good time. So just because many investors are pumping money into tech, some founders decide to just expend that money without doing some good economics around how sustainable it can be in case the investments stop coming. And
Yeah.
under this kind of economic situation the world is in, those funds definitely stopped coming. There was much thoughtfulness going into why should I be investing in this company now? What the previous rounds of investments you've had, how well have you utilized them? Are you profitable already? And so on and so forth. So all of that again is making more disciplined, which is a good thing. That means that going forward, you expect things to be built in a way that they are going to be more sturdy to withstand more storms. You understand? So, all of this said, and the fact that the world is still going to keep up with, is going to keep on trying to keep up with the digital state of things. So, that means it's definitely still a very tech. Don't let me forget to say one thing. By the time things now pick up fully back, tech is not
Yeah.
a space whereby you will decide, I want to go into tech today and you'll be ready tomorrow. There is
Mm.
this gestation period, which I've mentioned the other time, that you need to go through, which is the barrier that's keeping many people from even transitioning, right? So keep at it, keep being good. Even as we speak, it's not all bad news. Ironing still happens, just that presently there is much friction and we will get over very uh, upbeat about that. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. You see, in as much as they are laying off people, a lot of people are still going into tech. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
how do one sustain like how do one sustain or keep one's job in the industry that is becoming, you know, so saturated, and especially jobs like international gigs?
Yeah, so the thing is, you already mentioned gig. So, gig and maintaining something to be stable, they seem not to go together. When you mention
Okay.
gig goes with something being volatile, that's just the fact, right? And let me first mention that as far as you working locally or internationally is concerned, this is one of the factors you should put into consideration. So naturally enough, the local jobs stable and steady than the international jobs. That's because the nature of the contract you sign when you want to get the local jobs, they are more of full-time employments. Whereas for the international jobs, just like you mentioned, they are more of gigs. Do you understand? They can come like in contract-based manner for a duration at times. And even if they are not spelling it out that way, you should definitely know that once they are not able to employ you because of several legal barriers, they are not able to fully employ you. So you are just on a contract. And when the nature of the contract is not very binding, it's very easy to stop that contract abruptly. Do you understand? So
Yes.
that's first a reality. And then you have to plan properly your own risk analysis as to how you want to cope with this fact. Now, that said, of course, you want to always be the best employee you can be at any time. How much more at the time when there is layoff in the year, right? So that means just endeavor to keep getting better and endeavor to be a rounded employee. So a rounded employee in the sense that you are very observant of what's going around you and you are trying to intentionally make sure you are helping the bottom line of the business. The business has to be sustained for it to sustain the jobs, right? And
Yes.
the business owners, the business founders, the business leaders, they are also trying to always do this kind of categorization of who are the people that are really helping this business to float. They are the ones we must keep. And those that are not really helping the business to float, they should go. At times, it's not the fault of those people. Perhaps it's because of the nature of the department they are working from. Maybe that is not core to the company's growth and survival at times. So at times, in truth, you may not be able to help it. You understand? So just like anything that has to do with fate or destiny, you may not be able to help it. So, but at least for your part, try to be on top of your game. Try to be diligent. Try to be a good team player, and try to be very much present, like on ground to understand what's happening and doing your best. So that's it. That's it.
So you said being on top of your game to sustain your jobs and things like that. Would you encourage, or what would you say to someone that wants to start? Is learning one programming language enough, or they should learn multiple languages?
Yeah, so for those that want to go into the software engineering state of things, uh, the idea is try to master one at least first. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
when you master one, make sure that first one is, of course, what good demand for. So once you're sure there is good demand for it and you go for it, all out for it, like then you know you've mastered it, you're able to create value with it. Before you know, when the terrain changes and you need to pick up another programming language, in fact, even if the terrain does not change, you should ideally be good enough to know that there are some sort of tasks that your well-known programming language is not the best for, and then you want to be like, let me pick another one that I need or that I think I would need. So when you're trying to pick that other one, I can bet you that it will definitely be much more easier. You understand? It will definitely be
Yes.
much more easier than the first one you pick. So, and that is it. So, yeah.
So in learning these languages, is there a technique, like in your own opinion, what technique is much more efficient in mastering a language, and how many hours in a day do you think one needs to dedicate to be able to master the language?
Yeah. Yeah. So, when it comes to the hours, let me start from that part. Use all the hours. You can get few use. You can get more, get more. If the one you are getting is really too small, the hours you're able to put in is too small, then I would say have a plan towards how your distractions will be cut away, or have a plan towards how you'll be able to go on a full study mode. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
maybe that's in terms of you trying to get some savings in place, or getting someone to give you some stipends, but whatever that's going to be, right? So, but the fact is, this is not an 8 hours kind of stuff. Use all the hours you can get. I would just say that don't break yourself. So get good sleep, get good refresh. and you do yourself when you are straining yourself. So, but beyond all of these things necessary for sustainability so that you don't break down, put in all the hours you can put in. From experience, if you are putting all the hours you can put in and you are getting good mentorship, like using some of the very best resources, having a very great support community, and you yourself, well, don't let me discourage you, but hopefully you yourself being smart, right?
Yes.
So 6 months to 1 year should be fine for you to sort of master to some good levels at least that you can start creating value in your first programming language. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. So if one does not want to do job related to coding when it comes to tech, which ones do you think one should look towards?
Yeah, there are a whole host of them. One of the ones that people I recently also started encouraging people to also look at is DevOps, which has to do with
It's
how
what?
they could DevOps. So this is a discipline that has to do with how the code we write as software engineers will be deployed for users to use. You understand? That is how users will get to access what we have built. So this is something that is becoming very much more important in today's age of cloud computing. So that's one other area. I'm not saying you never have to write code as a DevOps engineer, but at least you can get started to a reasonable extent without writing much code. You understand? So also, I've mentioned product management before. These guys try to do market research around how viable and interview users to know what their pain points are around that idea, then plan various kind of requirements that they believe will solve that problem, all the way to making sure they plan the resources that will be needed to implement those solutions. So that's product management for you. And then, of course, managing the expectations of the stakeholders, like keeping all stakeholders informed of what's happening. So product management is also a team. If someone believes they are very strategic, you understand, and very broad and very introspective, they are still very much good to go with product management. So UI UX, user interface user experience, someone that believes they can be very picky when it comes to how well are you, how good is the experience people are getting when they use our product. So people have that kind of interest and also consider UI UX, and they think they have a good sense of how things look and feel. So they can really look at UI UX. All of these things, if you are ready to do them to excellent levels, nothing is stopping you from being as good as you can be, right? But then I should mention something.
Okay.
Whatever you know about programming will always help you, even if you are not a programmer, especially when you are still within these related fields. You understand? So, there's just this kind of literacy you can pick up about programming, and it will help you to relate better with the programmers because they are like at the core of all of these other stuff. So if you understand some of what they do, it just help better conversations to happen. So that's it. And there are still a whole host of other ones like digital marketing, especially. That's really so much complicated at all, and yet, after we build the product, we definitely want people to know about it, right? So even beyond the products we are building, every other person that is having one business or the other in life that's not even tech-related per se, they want publicity of their products to be well done, right? So the digital marketers can really help them to navigate that space. So again, the graphic designers are also still there, also helping with things around the branding of the company and all those kind of stuff. So what else am I missing? Yeah, there can still be some I'm missing, but these are some of the ones that come to my mind. Yeah.
Okay, let's go on a short break.